Hi, this is Nancy Rolfsma with Quilting with Nancy. Thank you for joining me. We are starting today a new series on an old book. The very first video series we did was on my Learning to Quilt book, which is a book that I wrote some 25 years ago and been teaching here in West Michigan for all that length of time. And 10 years ago, we got the opportunity to record it at the public access station here in Grand Rapids. And it was fabulous. I had a fabulous producer, and all of my friends were there involved in all of this, and it had the big cameras and the big lights, and I really loved it. But it was a hard to schedule all of that. So we've moved it into the home studio. So here we are in my home studio, and we're going to start recording the new Learning to Quilt. Now the quilt is the same, but the book has been updated over the last 10 years. Can't tell you how many products I used then that are no longer available. And some of the products I have found better products, things that make the process even easier. So I hope you appreciate all of my extra work. Now I want to first talk to you about picking the fabric for your quilt. Now this is our new book. And on the cover of it, it's called Dancing Dutch Tulips. The tulip is the most popular applique used by most of my students, but there are 5 different applique choices in the book, and you could always put in one of your own if you chose. Now here's just a quick look at some of the students' quilts from over the last 20 some years. You can see how there's so many different color combinations that you can use and all of the different applique centers. There are 5 in the new book. When you know what quilt you're going to make, the first thing you need to do is pick your fabrics. So I want to take you through ideas of ways to pick the colors that you're going to use. So here I have a couple of different options for you. Now this is one of the newer color wheels on the market. I believe this one is from C&T Publishing, and it's really quite beautiful. You can take your fabrics, put them right next to it so you know that you got sort of that color, and then as you go in, these are the tints and these are the shades, or vice versa. I can't quite remember which is which. And then on the back of it, let's say that you're choosing yellow as your main color. These little designs here show you the idea of the triadic and the analogous colorways. So you can see with triadic, you make a triangle, and wherever your starting color is, like the yellow, then you know that that red and that blue goes. And then you can also see on the back that it shows you different types of different types of analogous, whether or not you're doing 3 colors or 4 colors. So it has all that information on it. Oh, and I didn't mention the contrast. Contrast goes from your color to the other side. And those 2 colors are always going to go well together. This, though, is my favorite color wheel. This is one that I got from my mom, so I'm going to suspect it's no longer available, but there's got to be something out there like this. And what I like are the holes that are here. So if I choose this blue to be my main color, when I put it through the hole, I can see very clearly that it matches so closely to this number 1 of all these colors on the wheel. And if I come all the way to the other side, that's my contrast. And again, I'm choosing the number 1 of this color set here. So this orange and this blue are beautiful together. Now there's also the triadic. So if I put my blue back there, I come over here, this is the yellow that matches up with this. And then we've got the red over here, or a nice bright pink. So this would give you a start to what you may be designing. Another way is the analogous. So if we move these out of the way, I've got these colors. So here's my blue. That one is in the middle, and it says here the colors that blend. So we've got a lavender, kind of a plummy purple. Here is a blue, and then a green. And I like this because it does have so many different greens within it, and then more of a limey green. Now, what's fun about using the analogous color set is you can also add in the contrast, and that will give you your zinger, the fabric that in the quilt that just really pops when you're looking at it. Now, those are pretty classic, the color wheel technique, and there is a new one on the market. This is one that I found. Now, this is from Sarah Renee Clark, and there is her website. She has 4 sets of these color blocks like this, and every one of them is just amazing. Now, I only have, I think this is the Color Tube Volume 2. And she talks about using these a lot for scrapbooking and home deck and that kind of an idea, even the clothing that you're wearing, your wardrobe, getting things to match. So the idea is this block is full of about 400 color cards. And this is the idea of those color cards. So when you're looking at these, you might find a picture that just kind of speaks to you. I love this picture of the guitar and the shades of all the yellows. And then here are the colors in that photo. So going through these, it's just amazing what you can find, all the different colors that are here. And then you work with the back of the card for more options. So this is the picture that I chose, kind of this hummingbird. And so first I'm going to find some colors that match it. We have the light blue, the navy blue, a dark teal, kind of a goldy orange, and a rust. And those are the colors right there. And if you turn it around to the back side, then she gives you different shades here, going to the lighter to the tint and then the shade, or the shade and the tint. One of them you add white to and one of them you add black to, and that is what you get. So looking at these, you can see that this is a great way for you to kind of start choosing your fabrics. Now I want to show you how I actually do it. Nothing against the color wheels and the color blocks. I really like these ideas. But when I'm in my stash and I'm in my studio, this is how I do it from my stash. So let me show you what my stash looks like. This is a cupboard that goes floor to ceiling, and the yardages, half yards and up, are folded in a way that I'll show you in the next video so that everything fits perfectly into my cupboard. And the advantage is that it also is folded and ready to be cut. On the right-hand side, you see the drawers, and these are some IKEA drawers that my daughter-in-law found, and those fit perfectly. All of my fat quarters and scraps of fabric that I want to change. Now, this is the fabric that I found in my stash that I want to work with today. It's got some beautiful oranges, reds, pinks, and purples. So go to your stash or go to your favorite quilt shop and find for yourself a fabric with 3 or more colors, and then use that as your inspiration. So this is how I do it with mine. So I've got, here's my focus color. All right. And sometimes the focus color isn't even used in your quilt. You can just use that as a palette. I love these colors, but I don't want flowers in my quilt. Well, that wouldn't be me, but that could be somebody saying they didn't want the flowers in the quilt. And then I found my fabrics. There's a couple of oranges matching up on these here. And then there's quite a few different reds. And I want to remind you that just because it says red in this fabric doesn't mean that you can't bring in a variety of different reds. Here is the lavenders, the purples. This is actually a little bit more of a magenta. And then I also found a dark fabric. Now this is showing really, really dark here. And what I want you to know is that it is not a true solid. This is a fabric that has been hand dyed, and there are variations in the fabric. So that's important for you to know, because when it comes to making quilts, especially as a beginner, I would recommend that you don't use solid fabrics in your quilts. Solid fabrics, for me, and this is my opinion, I think that when I look at a quilt that might has, a bunch of tone-on tones and different things in it, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a solid, that's what my eye does. My eye just kind of stops on the solid. Now, that is not true if the entire quilt is made with solids. If an entire quilt is made with solid, it seems to work really well. But you also want to keep in mind the other issue that I find with students using solid fabrics is solid fabrics have a tendency to show mistakes much more than using tone-on-tone fabrics. If you're trying to get those seam corners to butt up perfectly and you're with a solid fabric, and if you're 3 threads off, it's kind of more noticeable than if you're using tone-on-tone fabrics. I also find, especially with beginner students, that your quilting will show up. And if you're really good at quilting, that can be a good thing. But if you're just new at this, you might find that it's showing a little bit more than you are comfortable with. So that's a little bit my opinion, and that's a little bit what I have found over the past 25 years teaching students about using solid fabrics. So I would kind of avoid it if you could. So first things first, you want to get the book. You can go to my website, which is www.quiltingwithnancy.com. There's quite a few books on there, but the very first one that you see should be the Dancing Dutch Tulips, which is the new version of the Learning to Quilt series. Once you get the book, then you can start picking your fabrics. Now, one tool that I use for choosing what fabrics I want to use is Electric Quilt. Now, Electric Quilt is a computer-aided program for designing quilts, and the idea is that you can put any fabric you want, plus all the thousands of fabric that are already uploaded into Electric Quilt, and then you can plug them into any design that you're working on. EQ is also great for designing your own blocks, designing your own quilts, and making things exactly the way you want them. I do have a membership on my YouTube channel, and on the designer level, that means that you get to join me once a month on a Zoom training session for Electric Quilt. And when you're a member, you actually can look at the last 5.5 years worth of videos. So I took my fabrics and I plunked them into Electric Quilt, and this is what the close-up looks like. And I think it looks great. I can see all of my floral fabrics and all the other colors that are used. It also can tell you the yardage that you use, which can be really helpful when you're using a stash because you just never quite know how much of the fabric you're going to need. So that's one of the many options that you can use for choosing the fabric for your next Learning to Quilt quilt. Now, in the next video series, I'll be talking to you about how to fold and stash your fabric and how to cut your fabric. So everything is cut very, very accurately. I hope that you'll come back. Please put a like to this video, leave a comment, share the video with all of your quilting friends. All of those things help YouTube recommend my videos for others. And if you liked it, that would be a really great thing. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.